Winter is a beautiful and magical time of year, and I don't think there's anything better than going for a stroll in a frosty landscape and then coming back to your nice warm home and having a hot chocolate. And while that's really good for your body and mind, it's not so good for your lips. And like many of us, I can suffer from dry, chapped lips in the winter. So if, like me, you get chapped lips, keep watching this video because we'll be looking at what causes them, what you can do to prevent them, and how you could treat them if you get them. As always, if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications when we release more. So our lips are busy little things. Each one is a muscle that's packed with thousands of nerve endings, and that makes our lips really sensitive to touch, warmth and cold. And just like all the other muscles on our face, they're almost constantly moving when we're talking and eating. But unlike the other muscles on our face, the muscles in our lips are covered with a really thin layer of skin. That's why they're a different colour than the rest of our face, because you can see the blood underneath them. But that also means they're prone to dehydrating and losing moisture really easily. And it's this loss of moisture that causes dry, chapped lips. And then if it's not treated, that can cause breakages and painful lips. So the key to preventing dry, chapped lips is certainly to stay well hydrated. While hot chocolates and spiced lattes are really tempting at this time of year, they don't do much to increase your body's hydration. So do make sure you're also drinking plenty of water. Herbal teas are also a great alternative to things like spiced lattes. Masala chai tea, turmeric tea, or even just a couple of slices of fresh ginger in hot water are all really nice on a cold winter's day. It's also key that we protect our lips against the elements at this time of year. So cold air doesn't contain as much moisture as warm air. So when you go out in the cold atmosphere, you will lose some of the moisture from your lips. And then when you come back into warm buildings, although warm air is a little more humid, it can cause evaporation of moisture from the lips. I would suggest covering your lips when you go outside and it's very cold, so with a scarf or with a face mask, and that can prevent too much moisture loss. But along with dehydration and the extreme temperatures, there are other factors that can contribute towards the drying of your lips. And it's likely that it's probably a combination of factors that will cause your dry, chapped lips. So one is excessive licking. Now, it can be tempting when your lips feel dry to give them a quick lick. And that saliva from your tongue can immediately relieve any dryness or irritation. But saliva evaporates really quickly, and over time, this will actually dry your lips out even more. Now, it can be a difficult habit to break, constantly licking your lips. Just be aware of it, and when you catch yourself doing it, just gently remind yourself why that's not a good thing to do. Another factor that can dry lips out are metal straws. Now, metal straws are a really good alternative to plastic straws. They're certainly much better for the environment. But metal is a great conductor of heat and cold. So if you use a metal straw for very cold drinks or very hot drinks, that metal will transfer that directly onto your lips. Now, I'm not suggesting you switch back to plastic straws. Instead, a bamboo straw may be a better option, particularly if you have a habit of drinking hot drinks through a straw. The wearing of lipstick can dry your lips out further. Now, I'm not going to tell you not to wear lipstick, but if you do use lipstick, make sure you are using a lip balm before you apply your lipstick, and that you apply lip balm liberally after you remove lipstick to make sure your lips have got plenty of hydration. Stress and anxiety can also exacerbate dryness of the lips. So if you're stressed or anxious, you're more likely to breathe through your mouth than through your nose. And it's this passage of air in and out of the mouth over the lips that can dry them out. Also, if you're anxious, you're more likely to chew on your lip. Not everybody does this. I know I can do this if I'm deep in thought or worried about something. While stress and anxiety are not the easiest things to treat, there are plenty of supplements out there that can help you to manage the symptoms, and it is worth talking to a healthcare professional too. Alcohol and smoking. Now, alcohol and cigarette smoke are both irritants, so they will irritate your lips, which that in turn will lead to you licking them more or them getting more dehydrated. But both tobacco and alcohol do mildly dehydrate your body too. Now, if you're a smoker, the very best advice is to try to quit or at least limit the amount you smoke. And if you do consume alcohol, again, limit the amount of alcohol that you do consume, but make sure you're very well hydrated when you are consuming alcohol. And UV light. Even in the darkest of winter days, some of the sun's UV rays will get through the clouds. And because the skin on our lips is so much thinner than anywhere else, the UV rays can penetrate a lot more easily. So it is important to consider using a UV protective lip balm if you spend a lot of time outside. So look for ingredients such as zinc oxide and titanium oxide, as both of these provide natural protection from the sun. So, as I mentioned before, some of these factors can be limited or avoided altogether, but some of them can't. And that's where lip balms can be really useful. Now, there are some ingredients in lip balms that I would suggest you look to avoid. So first of all, menthol or camphor. Now, these are often added to lip balms to provide a tingly sensation, and sometimes they claim to plump the lips up. But that tingly sensation is actually a slight irritant on the skin. And while it might not cause any problems if it's used elsewhere on the body, so both menthol and camphor are really useful for muscular aches and pains, on the lips, that irritant can cause problems. So I wouldn't recommend going for a lip balm that contains either menthol or camphor. Another ingredient to watch out for is salicylic acid. Now, this gets included in a lot of skincare products because it helps to cleanse pores. But on the lips, again, because the skin is so much thinner than anywhere else, it can irritate the lips. And I would also recommend you avoid lip balms that contain any artificial fragrances or artificial flavours. Again, both of these may irritate the skin. And on a very personal level, artificial flavours often lead me to licking my lips more, and you might find the same. So they become counterproductive. So it's best to avoid them altogether. So you need to look for a lip balm that contains ingredients that are going to hydrate and lock moisture in. So good ingredients to look for include shea butter, castor oil, and hemp seed oil. Some people find that beeswax can be really useful for nourishing and moisturising the lips. Some experts claim that beeswax actually blocks anything from being absorbed into the lips, so it's not useful. Now, unfortunately, I'm vegan, so I don't use beeswax anyway. I would say if you use a beeswax lip balm and it works for you, then continue using it. If you haven't used one before, then it might be an ingredient that could be worth avoiding. So how do you treat chapped lips? So really, you need to make sure you're getting plenty of moisture back into them. So drink plenty of fluids or herbal teas, and find a really good quality lip balm and apply that liberally and frequently throughout the day, particularly when you go outside or when you first come back indoors. There are some people that claim that lip scrubs can be useful. I don't think they're a brilliant idea while your lips are chapped, or particularly if they're broken, as they can damage the skin. A lot of commercial lip scrubs contain artificial flavours and fragrances or colours to make them more appealing, and these can also irritate the skin. Now, you might find that a gentle scrub can be useful while the lips are healing to remove just the surface dead skin cells. I'd suggest using a soft bristle toothbrush and rub that gently on the lips. Or you can make your own gentle lip scrub by combining 1 tablespoon of coconut oil with 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of honey. Coconut oil is really hydrating, honey is nourishing, and the sugar provides a gentle scrub. But again, if the skin on the lips is broken, I wouldn't recommend you use a lip scrub. So chapped lips, like many things, prevention is better than cure. So make sure you are well hydrated and you protect your lips with a good quality lip balm and cover them up when you're in extreme temperatures. As always, if you did find this video useful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications when we release more.